Hello and welcome to Tennessee Football's practice facility. I'm Ryan Sylvia. This is Noah Taylor. We are with VolReport.com on the Rivals Network. And I guess we brought the weather from Lexington down with us to Knoxville because it is cold, it is cloudy, it feels like it's going to rain. Hopefully that clears up by this weekend because Tennessee has a date with UConn for homecoming. And to preview all of that, we talked with head coach Josh Heupel and offensive lineman Cooper Mays and defensive lineman Bryson Eason. So let's jump right into our takeaways, starting with Josh Heupel. What were your thoughts on what he had to say?
Yeah, he had a couple interesting comments, I thought, on the two running backs. Obviously, that's been the headliner for Tennessee offensively this year is the run game. It won them the game Saturday night there on that last drive, or held on to the lead for them. But two things he said, one about Jalen Wright, what he's been able to do. I think we talked about it earlier this year. When Jalen Wright, when this coach staff first got here, Jalen Wright was a guy that tried to make plays happen on the outside. Now he's going right for contact, making plays. Josh Heupel also said he's making plays without the ball in his hands too, which I think is key. I think it just kind of speaks to his development this season. And he also talked about Dylan Sampson and what he's been able to do in pass blocking, what he's breaking tackles. Like we mentioned that last drive there, he was key in doing that. Obviously, Jabari Small's another guy in that room that's played really well. But I mean, it's you can't say enough about that group and what they've been able to do. I know it feels like we talk about them every week, but they've definitely kind of carried this team.
Now, we do talk about it every week, but for that reason is that they've been the best part of this offense to this point. One part of the offense that could stand to see some improvement, though, is that wide receiver room. Yeah. You're feeling the drop-off from losing Jalen Hyde and Cedric Tillman, and now Brew McCoy out there with an injury. There was questions on who's going to replace him on the outside. At first, it was a rotation of Chaz Nimrod and Caleb Webb. Well, we kind of got a surprise against Kentucky, where it ended up being Dante Thornton, who's seen all of his time in the slot. Prior to that, he got pushed out to the X-receiver slot, so I asked Josh Heupel about that situation. He says that after watching the film that he thought Dante did a good job, not just when he had his opportunities to make plays with the ball in his hands, but also on times where maybe it was a run play or it was a screen he had to block or situations where maybe he's just kind of that decoy route to take away a safety's attention. Good with the ball in his hands, good with the ball out of his hands, and it seemed like he was really pleased with his performance. I would expect him to be the starter against UConn. Chaz Nimrod caught that lone touchdown pass for Tennessee in the game, but I think Dante's probably going to get that nod, and then you'll see that rotation of the younger guys as well. Currently on the depth chart, they have it listed as a trio of starters right now. They moved Dante, who's still listed as that backup behind Square White in the slot, but they moved him as one of the three starters next to Caleb Webb and Chaz Nimrod for the X-receiver position opposite of Ramel Keaton, so that'll be interesting to see. But players, Cooper Mays, what were your thoughts on what he had to say?
Yeah, Dylan Sampson kind of gave one of the better sound bites Saturday night after that game, and we wrote about it on VolReport.com about Cooper Mays going to him in that fourth quarter saying, why not you be the guy to make the play, and our first chance talking to Cooper since then, and he was asked about that. Why did he kind of feel the need to kind of give that momentum, that vote of confidence to Dylan before he went on the field? And I thought his answer was interesting. He said, I didn't feel like I've been that much of a leader the last couple of games. I felt like it was needed the last couple of games. My leadership was needed the last couple of games. Obviously a guy, been in the program a long time, played a lot of football. But I'm not a vocal guy, he admitted, but a guy that he said, when I do speak, I think guys listen, and it definitely paid off for Tennessee on Saturday.
And on the defense side of the ball, Bryson Eason on that defensive line, he was asked about Kamal Haddon missing in that secondary, season-ending shoulder surgery. Kind of what's the expectation for that group? We saw Danico Slaughter slide into the starting role to replace Kamal Haddon last week, and he says that he doesn't expect there to be any drop-off. He has confidence in the guys that are going to step up. Of course, Gabe Judy-Lawley on the other side, and then we saw a rotation of a few other guys, including some younger pieces like Ricky Gibson III, some veterans like Warren Burrell, Brandon Turnage. So kind of by committee against Kentucky, but it seemed like that defense has a lot of faith that secondary is going to be able to pick up their play. It wasn't the prettiest game on the defensive side, both getting to the quarterback on the pass rush. They were only able to get to him one time for a sack and didn't get a lot of pressure, and then that secondary kind of soft in coverage as well, gave up a lot of big plays, and Devin Leary probably had the best game of his short-lived SEC career with Kentucky. But it seems like they have confidence going forward that this defense can get back to how they were playing ahead of that game against Kentucky. That'll do all from us here today, though. Tomorrow, we will be back to talk to some assistant coaches, talk to some players, and get the whole rundown before Tennessee football takes to Neyland Stadium for the second to last time this season for the third to last time this season for a homecoming clash with UConn. Make sure you go to VolReport.com for all the coverage on football, along with basketball season. Lady Vols with a scrimmage today, the men's team with the scrimmage tomorrow before that season kicks off. Links to everything is in the description, and thank you for watching.